The following is a production of the 2- and 4-year communication programs offered at SUNY Cobleskill. It's another edition of the Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About, But Probably Should podcast. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. Hang out with us for a little bit. Hello and welcome back to our 4th edition of Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About But Probably Should podcast. Today, I'm happy to introduce Chris Outman from the Chess Club. It's great to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
So, so let's get right into it. What year student are you in?
I am on my 3rd year. I'm a junior in information technology and a minor in digital media.
So is that okay? So that's I didn't even know actually they offered minors.
Yeah,
at campus.
Yes, they do. They offered it. My minor specifically, they offered my freshman year. It was brand new, so I was able to get it then. But it's helped me out so far.
That's really cool. I know. I've gone to the IT service desk over in Warner Hall before for help before because I'm not too good with like electronics and stuff. So I know I've been there quite a few times. So do you actually do you work there?
I do not work there. I have an internship in Prestolate Electric back home, and then I have a couple of other on-campus jobs. I do marketing for OSO, and then I work at Kobe's.
Okay, yes, I've seen you at Kobe's before. That's cool that you're involved with a bunch of different things on campus. How long have you been involved with the chess club? Is this something like since you first started here?
Since the beginning, yes. I first learned about it just scrolling through the website. I looked up chess club specifically because I was already interested in chess and wanted to get involved on campus. And then I reached out to Grace Pagani, the advisor of the chess club at the time. And then I went to, I think, the 3rd meeting, my first time.
So is that, because I know that you mean the 3rd meeting, was it like a new club at that point?
At that point, I had been there for 4 years. It was Tyler and someone else ran the chess club. And it was a relatively small club at that time, but before that, there was like 20 or so members annually.
So this was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. I am familiar with, I do remember Tyler actually a little bit. That was when it used to meet over in Warner Hall. I remember. So how did you become president of the club?
So it was my freshman year, and they had originally, they were leaving. It was their last year, and they were starting their internship in that spring semester. So they were hiring 4 new chess club presidents, and me and my vice president, Andrew, were interested in getting involved. So we ran for election, and everyone unanimously voted.
So what exactly do you do as president?
So I manage all the other officers. We have a treasurer, a vice president, and a PR. So I give them their daily tasks. Treasurer obviously manages the money. PR works with other clubs to kind of collab together. And we all kind of think of events. And then the vice president's there for when I can't make it, although they do a lot for the club as well, such as getting in contact with other clubs or getting in contact with reservations for places.
Okay, so it's each different person who has a different role in the club. As far as what did you call the people with the different positions? They each have their own role in what they do, and you kind of oversee it, kind of, in a way.
So I give inputs, I manage it, so I'll keep weekly updates to make sure that they're all getting what they need to get done, and then I'll ask them if they have any other ideas. So if they want an event, I then ask everyone else if they'd like that event, and then it's all working together. It's just so that I don't have to do everything. It just takes those tasks and separates them.
Yeah, that's cool, and I know I've seen you guys at some of the the club fairs and some of the other events they've had on campus, and you guys actually were, and I remember it was a nice day out too that you guys were outside playing, and I remember joining you guys a few times during some of the club fairs, and I think that was a really a cool way of getting people's attention and just walking around the club fair and sitting down and just playing chess. I remember I did that with you guys.
Exactly. And, we don't want to put ourselves out as a club you have to go to every week. It's just come sit down and play chess. So we'll ask them if they want to play a chess game, and then we explain our club as we play. It's a nice game that you can just talk through while you play.
Yeah, that's really cool because I know, at least speaking for myself, that I've been very busy, and I go to some of the club meetings, and it's cool because I remember actually one of the semesters, 2 semesters ago, last fall, I had a class during the same time as it, and I wasn't able to go, but I was able to, as my schedule changed, I did have a class right after, but that's cool that it's more of just like a casual thing, that it's not like you don't have to go every time because a lot of students are busy and stuff.
Yeah, we obviously understand that, some people have their own things they got to do other than chess all the time. So it's just come show up, come play chess, talk, watch a game, learn from a game. We do teach. It's a little bit of everything.
Okay, so you said you teach. So so do you have a lot of people who are beginners who don't really know much about chess that are joining the club or participating in it?
Yes, we do. Actually, last year we had someone who had never played chess before, and we were able to teach them they were still obviously a beginner by the end of it, but we teach chess from not playing at all. We teach beginners. We teach intermediate. We accept anyone, no matter if you're good or bad. We're not going to make fun of you. Everyone's there to learn. Everyone's there to have fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately, I guess that's the purpose of chess, or really any game. And it's just, I know at least for myself too, it's like a great way of not just socializing, but also just like kind of like de-stressing and just like getting your mind off of things, especially like, and I remember thinking like it was difficult to get to, especially between classes and stuff. But at the same time, that's also a good thing because it's in the middle of everything. Just sit down and play chess, and that's a really cool thing to have on campus.
Peace.
And I know the first year I was here, and you said you also started as a student in fall of 2020.
Yes, 2022.
Oh, 2022. Okay, so this is so I was actually here in fall of 2020, and there really was like nothing going on with all of the restrictions. There was a lot of restrictions with right after COVID and everything, and there was really no and even as far as like the social events go, like the bingo on campus and stuff, there was like nothing, and it was like really wasn't that great of a time as far as like meeting people and socializing, and there were no clubs offered. I know there were a couple, but they were only like virtual online, and I know it's kind of like, especially for a lot of new college students, it's kind of like a awkward thing as it is kind of to put yourself out there and get involved with things, but over Zoom, it's kind of just adds that other aspect to it. And it's, at least for myself, I know I wasn't really involved with anything, with all the limitations and everything, but it's great to see that there's, especially now it's like you guys are outside. And I think, like I mentioned before, that's something that sometimes I'll forget, like, chess club is on and I'll just walk past, getting something to eat at Kobe's and walk past and be like, oh, there's the chess club, and I'll sit down, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and that's why we have the time we do, because we know a lot of people are out of class or like going to lunch. So like people will leave and they'll be like, oh, there's chess over here. And then some people watch, some people play. It's just like a casual thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So, so right now, chess club, you guys are still meeting, because I know it's like, the weather's starting to get colder and stuff, but I know towards the beginning of the semester, you guys were meeting, you mentioned meeting outside Brickyard. You guys still meeting outside?
When the weather gets cold, or if people just aren't up to doing it outside, we go just inside, because they have the perfect chess playing tables. They're square tables, they're little ones, so we can just separate those. We can play games side by side. And it's still lower Brickyard, so it's still the same time. We don't get as many people, because obviously people aren't walking past anymore, but we do still get some people, because people know that we meet outside lower Brickyard when it's sunny, and then when they come and visit, we just tell them we'll be meeting inside when it's cold out. Because nobody wants to play in the rain.
Yeah.
It's not good for the board. It's not good for players. It's just...
Yeah, and I think that's a good, even though, I know it's good to spend time outside, and it's, at least for me, I like playing chess outside, especially on a nice day, and I think that's pretty cool. And I know that there's not too many other clubs. I mean, I may be wrong. I don't know every club, but not too many clubs that have their weekly meetings outside. And I think that's a really cool thing, especially since, like I mentioned before, it's it gets the exposure for the club in the beginning of the semester, so people see it, and then by the time you are back inside, hopefully you have your following and your people who like to come to club every weekend and know where it is at that point. But I'm actually gonna it meets tomorrow at 12:30, right? I'm gonna try to. I've been very busy with a lot of things, but I'm gonna try to go, because I know that's something I enjoy doing, and I haven't been there in a while. But yeah, that's great, and I hope the chess club continues to be successful for as long as you're involved, or as long as it's a club on campus.
And we gather more freshmen each year, so it's a growing club. It's still obviously a small club because not everyone wants to play chess all the time, but there are people who come and they do genuinely enjoy. You have people who come and learn, and that's really our only goal: is people who are interested in learning that can learn. People who are interested in playing can play.
And that's great that hopefully to let people know that so people aren't. I mean, even myself, like when I first joined, I was like, and I'm still not that great at chess. I'm still. I don't know if I would say I'm a beginner. It's just I play here and there and on and off, and I don't get too much practice. So every time I go, it's like I just try to see how long it takes before I lose. And it's but I think that's cool to know that for people to be aware that it's so they're not intimidated and be like, okay, this is kind of just like a group of people that anybody could really join and kind of play.
Yeah, because people like come over and they're like, oh, they see all the games and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know how to play. And then we're just open to teaching them. We've taught, I think I've taught 3 people how to play on campus.
So you good at teaching people how to play chess?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mostly start them off with openings and then certain tactics, or like I like to play like against them so that I can then like they make a move and then I comment on that move, what they could have done better or what each of my moves accomplishes. Just kind of more in-depth analysis.
That's something that I wasn't even too familiar with, actually. I knew it was a thing, and I'm actually still even learning new chess moves as I'm like, what was that you just did there? But it's great. It's great for the club and for anybody who wants to join. There's always more to learn, and I think that really is all we have for today. So I think that pretty much wraps up our 4th edition of Things Happening on Campus That You Didn't Know About But Probably Should podcast. I'm your host, Chris Parlato. See you next time. Yep.